After 60, some heart-healthy foods don't protect your heart, they quietly strain it. And the scary part is you can eat them daily and still think you're doing everything right. Before we go any further, subscribe to this channel. If you want to stay healthy and independent as you age, you need simple science-backed tips you can actually use, and we share them every single day. I've watched the same pattern for years. People clean up their diet, cut fried food, and start buying the healthy versions. Then their blood pressure stays high, their cholesterol numbers don't improve, or their belly fat won't move, and they feel confused because they're doing what they were told. Here's the promise. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 3 foods marketed as good, but can backfire after 60, and I'll show you what to eat instead, with exact amounts you can start today. Now, before we continue, tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments. This helps us understand who we're helping. Here's what most people get wrong. They think heart healthy means it has a healthy-sounding label or a trendy ingredient, or it comes from a plant. But your heart doesn't read labels. Your heart responds to what happens in your blood after you eat. Your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol that can build plaque in arteries, your inflammation, which is like a low-grade fire, inside blood vessels, and after 60, your body handles certain foods differently. You're often more sensitive to salt, more sensitive to sugar spikes, and you may not clear fats from your blood as efficiently as you did at 40. That's why the same healthy food can be fine for one person and a problem for another. And yes, I'm going to be respectful here because nutrition is not one size fits all. But we do have strong research that some healthy foods are risky in the modern way. For example, a 2024 study led by Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that adding 1 sugary drink per day was linked with an 18% higher risk of cardiovascular disease, even if a person exercised a lot. In other words, you can't always outwalk what you drink. Source. So let's do a reverse countdown. 5 to 1. Because number 1 is the food almost nobody suspects, and it sits in a health aisle. Number 5. Coconut oil. Most people think coconut oil is heart healthy because it's natural. It is from a plant, and it is popular in clean eating. But actually, coconut oil is one of the most saturated fats you can put in your pan. Saturated fat is a type of fat that tends to raise LDL cholesterol in many people. Think of LDL cholesterol like sticky delivery trucks on the highway. The more sticky trucks you have, the more traffic jams happen inside your arteries. A large meta-analysis in the journal Circulation found coconut oil raised LDL cholesterol compared to non-tropical vegetable oils. The study reported an average increase of about 10.47 millimeters per dl in LDL. That's not a tiny change. It's a real bump in the direction you don't want. Source. Now, you might hear, but coconut oil raises HDL too. HDL is often called good cholesterol. Here's the thing. Raising HDL sounds nice, but it doesn't automatically cancel out the LDL problem. It is like saying my house is on fire, but I also opened a window. The fire is still the fire. So what do you do instead? First, don't panic if you used coconut oil before. This is about what you do next. If you cook at home, make your default oil extra virgin olive oil for low-heat cooking. Use avocado oil for higher heat if you need it. If you bake, use olive oil in recipes that allow it. Many do. Let me be clear, you don't have to fear fat. You just want the right kind most of the time. Here is a simple step you can do today. If you use coconut oil every morning, replace it with 1 teaspoon of olive oil, or skip added oil and use a non-stick pan. If you love the taste of coconut, use shredded unsweetened coconut as a topping instead of cooking oil. Keep it small, like 1 tablespoon. That gives flavor with less saturated fat. And if you are thinking, but I thought coconut was a superfood. Coconut meat is not the same as coconut oil. Oil is concentrated. It is like the difference between eating grapes and drinking grape syrup. But wait until you see number 4, because it tricks people who are trying to eat clean. Number 4. Healthy drinks that act like sugary drinks. Most people think fruit juice is good, because it comes from fruit. But actually, juice can act more like soda inside your body. Why? Because when you juice fruit, you remove most of the fiber. Fiber is the part of plant food that slows sugar down. It is like brakes on a bicycle. When the fiber is gone, sugar hits your blood faster. That can spike blood sugar. And over time, frequent spikes can worsen insulin resistance, which means your cells stop listening to insulin as well. Insulin is the hormone that moves sugar from your blood into your cells. Now connect that to your heart. Higher blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance are linked with higher triglycerides, more belly fat, and more inflammation. All of those raise heart risk. And remember that Harvard-led research I mentioned earlier. It didn't only talk about soda. It also included sugary drinks more broadly, and found that adding one sugary drink per day was tied to an 18% higher risk, even in active people. Source. Okay, you might say, but my juice is 100% juice. No added sugar. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Your body still sees liquid sugar. And liquid calories are sneaky. They don't fill you up like chewing food does. So what should you do instead? If you love juice, treat it like a treat, not a health drink. If you still want it, keep it to 4 ounces. That is half a cup, not a tall glass. Then do this one trick that helps many seniors. Drink it with a meal that contains protein and fiber. For example, if you are having breakfast, eat eggs and a bowl of berries first. Then if you still want juice, have that small portion. Better options that still feel refreshing. Make flavored water. Add lemon slices, cucumber, or frozen berries. Let it sit 10 minutes. Try sparkling water with a splash of juice, like 2 ounces of juice in a full glass. You keep the taste. You cut the sugar load. Or eat the whole fruit. Exact amounts that work well for many people. 1 medium orange, 1 apple, 1 cup of berries. Because whole fruit comes with fiber. That fiber slows the sugar. Now, quick question, have you noticed you get sleepy or foggy after a healthy breakfast? Comment yes or no below. I read these, and it helps me tailor future videos. But wait until you see number 3, because this is sold as a heart-saving swap for meat. Number 3, plant-based meats that are ultra-processed. Most people think they are healthy, because they are not beef. But actually, many plant-based meats are ultra-processed. Ultra-processed means they are made in a factory with multiple added ingredients, often including refined starches, added oils, and lots of sodium, which is salt. And after 60, sodium can hit harder. Sodium pulls water into your bloodstream. More water in the bloodstream can raise blood pressure. High blood pressure is like turning up the pressure in a garden hose. Over time, it damages the hose. And many plant-based burgers, sausages, and deli slices are loaded with sodium. Sometimes 400 to 700 milliliters per serving. Sometimes more. Now, is every plant-based product bad? No. But you need to stop thinking. Plant-based equals heart healthy. Look, if a food has a long ingredient list, and it is designed to taste like something else, you should treat it as a convenience, not a daily health tool. And we do have growing concern around ultra-processed patterns. A 2024 article in JAMA discussed research linking these foods to higher mortality risk. It described people eating a median of 7 servings per day having a 4% higher risk. That doesn't prove one food causes an attack, but it does support a clear direction. The more your diet is built on ultra-processed foods, the worse the outcomes look. Source. So what should you do instead? Use plant proteins that are naturally simple. Try this 3-part plate that works great after 60. Pick 1 protein, half a cup of beans or lentils, or 3 to 4 ounces of fish, or chicken, or 2 eggs. Pick 1 fiber-rich carb, half a cup of oats, or brown rice, or a sweet potato. Pick 1 big pile of vegetables, 2 cups of any mix you like. If you still want plant-based meat, choose it like you would choose dessert. Once in a while, smaller portions, and balance it with real high-fiber foods. Here's a shopping rule that makes this simple. If you buy a product, flip it over. Look at sodium first. Aim for under 300 milliliters per serving. Look at saturated fat. Aim for the lowest option you can find. Now, before we go further, hit that like button. It tells me you want more videos like this. But number 2 is where people get defensive, because it is often recommended by heart labels. Number 2, low-fat flavored yogurt. Most people think it is healthy because it is low in fat. But actually, many low-fat flavored yogurts replace fat with sugar. And sugar doesn't just affect weight. It can affect triglycerides. It can affect fatty liver. It can affect inflammation. And all of those matter for your heart. Here is the thing, when you remove fat, food companies need to add sweetness to keep it tasting good. That is how you get a cup that looks innocent, but has 12 to 20 grams of added sugar. That is 3 to 5 teaspoons of sugar in one snack. And if you eat that every day, it is like giving your blood sugar a little jackhammer daily. Not huge, but constant. So what should you do instead? Buy plain yogurt. Then you control what goes in. Best options: plain Greek yogurt, plain Skyr, plain regular yogurt. Then sweeten it yourself in a heart-friendly way. Use one of these: berries, or one small chopped apple with cinnamon, or 1 tablespoon of chopped walnuts. Exact amounts: 3/4 cup plain Greek yogurt, 1/2 cup berries, 1 spoon walnuts. Now it tastes good, it is filling, and it is not a sugar bomb. If you need it sweeter, add a little vanilla extract or a small drizzle of honey. Not a big squeeze. And if dairy upsets your stomach, choose an unsweetened alternative. But read the label. Many non-dairy yogurts are basically starch plus sugar. Okay, now we are at number 1. This is the one that gets seniors the most, because it hides behind a heart-healthy claim, and it is everywhere. Number 1. Heart-healthy packaged snacks made with seed oils and claims. Most people think if the front label says heart-healthy, it must be safe. But actually, many packaged snacks use a perfect marketing trick to focus attention on one good thing and distract you from 3 harmful things. They may say, made with whole grains, no cholesterol, plant-based, low fat. But then, when you flip the label, you see a long list with sugar and sodium. Let me explain it like a home renovation. If your house has a cracked foundation, painting the walls doesn't fix the house. In food, the foundation is the processing. After 60, those factors matter more than ever because your arteries are older. Your kidneys handle salt more slowly and your muscle mass is lower. So what do you do instead? You don't need perfection, you need a simple swap system. Protein plus fiber. That is it. Protein keeps you full. Fiber slows down sugar. Try these exact options. If you want crunchy, a small handful of nuts and a fruit. If you want something sweet, 1 cup of berries and 2 tablespoons of plain Greek yogurt. If you want something salty, hummus and sliced vegetables like carrots or bell peppers. If you want bread like 1 slice of whole grain toast and 1 tablespoon peanut butter. Choose peanut butter with peanuts and salt only. Here is a practical label rule. Look at these 3 numbers: added sugar, sodium, saturated fat. If a snack has more than 8 grams of added sugar, be cautious. If it has more than 300 mg sodium per serving, be cautious. If it has saturated fat, be cautious. Now, you might be thinking, but I am over 60. I have eaten this stuff forever. I get it. But your body is not the same as it was at 35. And the goal is not to shame you, it is to help you keep your heart strong. I'd love to hear your story. What made you click on this video today? Share in comments. Let's pump the brakes for a second because I need to say something important. If you are on blood pressure medicine or cholesterol medicine, food changes matter. If you suddenly cut sodium hard, your blood pressure might drop. Monitor yourself. If you have kidney disease, be careful with high potassium options. If you have diabetes, changing sugary drinks can lower your blood sugar. That is great. But watch for low blood sugar if you take insulin. If you have heart failure, sodium and fluid balance is a big deal. You need a plan with your clinician. I am not saying this to scare you, but to protect you. If you have chest pain, new shortness of breath, or fainting, get medical help immediately. Ask your doctor these questions. Is my LDL goal different? Should I limit saturated fat? Now, for the next 7 days, don't try to change everything at once. Start with just 1 swap per day. Day 1. Replace coconut oil with olive oil. Day 2. Replace juice with whole fruit. Day 3. Replace plant meat with beans. Day 4. Replace flavored yogurt with plain yogurt. Day 5. Replace a snack with nuts. Day 6 and 7. Repeat the easiest swap. Budget-friendly, canned beans and frozen berries. Routine: breakfast is oats or eggs, lunch is salad, dinner is fish and veggies. You don't need to overthink this. Start with just one thing. Stop drinking your fruit and start eating it. Then watch what happens to your energy over 2 weeks. If this helped you, hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed. Stay strong.